Hey everyone, welcome to CueSoc's 2021 first year's competition. It's our first competition of the year, and we've got our two finalists here. We've got Brendan Su from UNSW studying commerce and computer science, as well as Alex Wu, also UNSW, studying actuarial and computer science. So we just witnessed the lag there, and Alex has won the lag. I haven't had my eyes on the games all day, but I think this should be a pretty interesting match. As usual, the format is 8-ball, winners break, typical rules for 8-ball as well. And the commentators today are William Wu, who's with me here, who's CueSoc subcommittee and our new marketing director, and I'm Lockie. So it will be a race to 5 today, and we've just broken off with the first frame. So I'm going to hand over to Will to introduce himself too. He doesn't want to introduce himself. He's too shy.
So Alex has broken off drive here, and it's Brendan's turn at the table.
As usual with our first year's comp, it's a pretty even playing field. A lot of less experienced players. So it really makes it a great opportunity for people who are just starting to pick up the game or even play casually to come and play. Just off of personal experience and watching the games here today. I think Alex is a decent player in the making. He seems to have his fundamentals down pat. And Brendan was definitely a dark horse today. He struggled a bit through some of his games. There were some other good players, but he got through in the end. I think on a hill semi-final, so it was 2-2. We've got a scratch there early on in the game.
Unfortunate scratch.
So the rules are as usual. If someone fouls or scratches, like Alex just did, it's ball in hand. You can place the ball anywhere on the table and continue the game. We've also got a social pool event tomorrow, so Sunday the 28th, as well as we've got events every single week, basically, social events, a couple of competitions. Especially with the competitions, they'll be over the next couple of weeks. We've got 8-ball, 9-ball, and snooker comp, and a girls' social pool coming soon. So definitely keep your eyes posted, even if you're watching this video after all of those competitions and events. Keep your eyes posted on the page. We're running events all the time, and our events cater to a lot of different people, casual players, more serious players, players wanting to improve. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out.
So we've seen Alex play before. He's currently playing in our CueSoc League Season 10, and it's great to see a lot of first years signing up to that event, and we encourage more first years to sign up to our future CueSoc Leagues. It's a great way to improve your competitive skills and also in a more friendly environment. Alex is a difficult shot here because he's bridging over quite a few balls. Let's see.
Yeah, just on the 8-ball league, we also run 9-ball league. But yeah, what Will was saying, it's a really friendly environment. And as with our other tournaments as well, people tend to be scared off by the word tournament or league. But honestly, I think CueSoc is for players of all abilities. And all of our competitions all the time have players of all abilities. Sure, there's going to be that one guy who plays pool all the time and might win his games. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't play, and that shouldn't discourage you from playing if you're just starting to play and want to get better, or just want to have a fun day where you meet a whole lot of new people and even learn something new. So yeah, definitely if you're on the fence, or if you have been on the fence before with our events, definitely come along to the next one, and you really don't know until you come along and see if it works for you. So we've got a bit of a scrappy first frame here. Some handovers, each player's come back and forth to the table. I think I'm expecting for the players to warm up and slowly get into the game, and I think we'll see some better play. It's just the first frame, so we can't really call a favourite yet.
So Alex made the 5-ball and has got a pretty good angle to go to the 2 from the 3.
Yeah, so what Will was just mentioning there, angle, is all about position, right? So, both Will and I are quite experienced players. I think we've both played for around 2 years now. So, yeah, at this level, especially I think with Alex, he'll probably be thinking a lot about, oh, where do I want to put the cue ball for my next shot? And attempt to play position for that. What's actually just happened is he's not even seen the blue 2 ball there and thinks he's on the 8 ball. So that was a close one. So he's potted that, but he's got a pretty difficult shot in the 8 ball. So yeah, as you improve, you learn more and more how to just make the game easier for yourself. So Alex made a really, really good bank there. Yeah. Yeah, he played it at a really good speed. If you play the balls soft like that, you're giving them the maximum chance to go in the pocket. So really well played shot there. So that's 1-0 Alex's way. Let's see if he can keep this up throughout the race. I think it'll be really important for both players. It's your first tournament. You haven't played in a tournament situation before. The nerves can really get to you. So I think it will be a big thing in this match, just who handles the pressure better. So we've got a scratch on the break, unfortunately. Yeah, but it was a decent break. I think a pattern throughout the day is some of the breaks haven't been as open, and that makes the frame really, really, really hard for the two players.
Brendan.
Will's just going to step in and ref. The rule is if you scratch after the break, you've got to place the cue ball behind the head string line and play a ball down the table. So yeah, just on a side note, in terms of prizes for our first place winner of the first year's comp, we've got a CueSoc hoodie, as usual, a free pool cue, Fury cue, and a couple of vouchers here and there, as well as for second place. We've got some magic racks to give away, which are really handy things to have if you're playing pool quite often. I think both players just a bit disappointed with themselves just then with those two misses. But yeah, they'll definitely get into it. So we see Alex, I think, is using his own cue. Not sure what brand that is. And Brendan's using a house cue. There's nothing wrong with those at all. They're actually pretty good cues, the house cues. But for those of you thinking about, maybe I should buy a cue, I've had a couple of people come and ask me today. Just, like under $100 is great for a beginner's cue. And it just helps you to understand the game and all the different, I guess, intricacies with an individual cue. And then, obviously, gradually you'll get better through that. So, we've got our finalists, Brendan and Alex, here. In terms of semi-finalists, we had Wei Cheng, who I think this was his first CueSoc event, so it's good to see a new face. And I think it was Brendan's first event as well. I think he found out about the event through our post on UNSW discussion group, I'm pretty sure. And our fourth semi-finalist was Ryan Lee, who I believe is in the same 8-ball league team as Alex. So they're both familiar faces anyway. But it was good today to have a pretty even split of new and old faces. And it would be really great to see a lot more new faces throughout the year during our recovery from what was a pretty trashy 2020 in terms of CueSoc events and attendance. So Alex is a pretty difficult layout here. Oh, I think he's just fouled. Yeah, he's just touched the tip of the cue ball with the cue ball and he's fouled, so he's given ball in hand to Brendan. Either way, Brendan's still got a pretty tricky task ahead of him. His balls are all over the table, but mostly grouped in that lower right-hand corner. I think we'll see him potentially pot a few balls here and maybe run into an obstacle, especially down in that bottom right-hand table. close miss there, but really has left Alex no shot at all. He might be able to shoot at the 7, but there's no pocket, as well as just saying. So he tried to double it or bank it into the middle pocket.
Very fortunate.
Yeah.
Left him in a very bad position as well.
A bit of a hidden hope there from Brendan, but you couldn't really do more than that in that situation.
So I was accidentally potted the 14 ball. So, and because he didn't call that pocket, he'll have to hand the table back over to Alex.
Almost a fluke on the brown 7 ball by Alex.
I actually got to play with Brendan a bit earlier because of our rounds. He actually had a bye for his first round, and I was just saying to Lockie how he's actually got a pretty good stroke and he's been hitting quite well because we've never seen him at our events before, so it's quite nice.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's got his fundamentals down pat, and probably it's just the more you practice, the better you get at this game. Like, this game is all about hours you put into it. But yeah, some uncharacteristic misses from both players. I think they've had a couple of shots where they've just gone, oh, how did I do that? Yeah, I think it's also to do with focus as well as pressure. If you played 4 rounds already, 3-4 rounds for the whole day, it's pretty hard to play a final game right after. Yeah, it's a bit tiring. But yeah, you can tell, I think both players just need to get into the zone. But it's only early on in the race.
Even though a race to 5 is quite short, there's still many opportunities for both players to take the strong side. So we'll see how Alex goes on his final 2 balls and see if he can take this frame away.
Yeah, it's difficult because so he just played to get a look at the 8 ball as opposed to get a nice shot on it. And that was really all you could do. Sometimes you just got to take what the table gives you. It's a good shot. Good shot on the 8 ball there. It's really good speed. Like I was saying before, Alex is hitting those 8 balls quite softly. And that's really good because it gives the 8 ball a good chance to get into the pocket. So if you're a new player, I remember when I first started playing, I used to hit the balls really, really hard. Sometimes I still do. But yeah, definitely, if you can hit the ball soft, go for it, because I think you'll pop way more balls like that.
As Lockie was saying, if you play the ball at pocket speed, there's probably a greater chance that the pocket will be more lenient to you and actually making the ball. Whereas if you slam it, it could actually rattle in the pocket, which you don't really want that to happen.
Really tilting in a finals game if that keeps happening.
That was a pretty good spread on the break, but unfortunately he got dry again. So we'll see how Brendan handles this. So he's gone for the solids.
He's dislodged the 3 ball, which is really good.
And he's got a nice bump on the 3.
I think Alex is a bit confused here. Brendan actually took solids off of the break. So Alex is actually on stripes. Not that it matters because he fouled either way, but I'll just let him know.
So we thought that Alex could have maybe potentially played an intentional foul and hitting the the ball just by the pocket in, but clearly seems that he's got confused between if it was solids or stripes, which actually happens pretty commonly. There's times where you're just not concentrating and you just see a ball and you just want to hit it in.
I remember in my first year's comp, in the first round, I potted the black ball, thinking that I was on the black, but I still had one ball left, gave away a frame. So yeah, concentration.
And I remember Lockie beating me in like second round.
Oh, I
3-0.
don't remember that. I don't remember playing Will at all, actually.
I was just that awful that he didn't even remember me. So Alex has actually made a great try at a long table cut. Those shots may seem easy, but they're actually quite hard.
And the ball finished over the pocket, so at least he got something out of it. Just seeing Lewis in the background there, playing on that table to the left, as well as Herbert just walking by. I think this year, this cohort has a pretty decent field of players. Definitely a lot of potential there. I think if some of these players put in more time into the game, they could become really, really good players. And even for those of you who aren't playing often already, if you just go casually, go with mates, and maybe you're getting better slowly, there's definitely an opportunity to improve through CueSoc events. Like even if you just come to the social events, at least you're playing, right? As well as the competitions. The 8-ball, 9-ball competitions are probably a bit more difficult for the beginners, but that again shouldn't discourage you from coming. I don't think many people join the competitions at CueSoc with that expectation to win, as opposed to just wanting to play other people for a day, meet some new people, and potentially, if they're lucky, win. So definitely come along to the next CueSoc event or the next competition if there is one. I reckon snooker comp will be pretty even because I don't think there are any actual sort of snooker players. So in other words, I think everyone who enters will be pretty trash. So if you're looking for a way into CueSoc events and tournaments, maybe try out snooker comp. You can play. It's snooker comp.
If you play, I'll play. See you in the finals.
On another note, CueSoc will be opening their subcom applications very soon, depending on when you're watching this, so the end of February right now. So definitely if you're interested, apply. It's a pretty quick application form, some pretty general questions that you'll encounter in a lot of different application forms. And then there's an interview process as well, so there's 3 portfolios you can choose from, events, marketing, or multimedia. Pretty good attempt there by Brendan.
Left Alex in a quite difficult situation again.
Yeah. So with these balls against the rail, no one really likes them. What's really important is that you just have a really straight through stroke and gentle stroke. So yeah, really important there on the rail. Don't try to hit it too hard. Just follow through with your stroke, hit it gently, and make sure that your stroke is smooth. Oh, really, really close there. Really close.
And it's left him shot.
Yeah, it's left him a shot this
he's left
time.
himself a shot on that as well.
Yeah, the 8-ball definitely goes into that bottom pocket. Bit of a safety here. I think an accidental safety.
Let's see how Brendan handles this.
That was a decent attempt. It's not easy to judge those multiple rail kick shots, especially with such a small target as well. So a bit lucky there for Alex. I think the cogs in his mind are just spinning now, trying to figure out how to clear up these last 4 balls. He's taking his problem ball first, so the ball that's the most difficult to come back to later, which was a good strategic choice. And a good pot there as well to get position on the 12 ball. I think it's the 12, the pink 12, but a bit of a tester here.
Oh, another very close miss.
I think Brendan attempted a safety there, but in that situation, it's really, really hard to pull off a safety.
Especially when the ball is just right by the pocket.
Yeah, you really have to get a really good safety out of it. Often it helps to be aggressive in that situation. Even then, I think this is another tester for Alex. So let's see how he tackles this.
Yeah, I don't think he's left himself the best shot. I think he would have wanted to hit the ball more fully, but I think he's hit it too thin.
Or softer, because these tables in Burwood are actually really different from the pool tables in the city. They're really quick. So even if you hit the ball really soft, it tends to travel a long distance on the table.
Now we've got a tester for Brendan.
Oh, he's attempting to fire those in. And from personal experience in Burwood City Heroes, the pockets don't like to take balls that are going in at that speed. Hopefully he plays some of those softer shots that we've seen him been playing. Bit of an uncharacteristic miss there. If you can see on the camera, what happened there was Alex got up really quickly off of his shot. And if you're just starting to play the game, that's the golden rule. Don't get up off of your shot. Stay down, stay still. It's like with lots of other sports. After you've done the action, after you've taken the shot, stay down for a minute. Not a minute, but a few seconds, and then get up. So let's see if Alex corrects that error this time. Yeah, a lot better in terms of form there. Stayed down on his shot, delivered the cue really smoothly, but was unlucky to miss the pot.
So I think the 8 ball has been blocked, so I think Brendan will have to go for the top left corner pocket. It might be quite difficult to actually get position for the 8 ball. So we'll see how he goes. Oh, another close miss. He's got a fortunate bump.
I think the bump actually gave him position on the 8 ball. If anything, I think the bump was unlucky.
The balls are very close.
Yeah, the cue ball was going to go save. But again, I think Alex rushed that shot a bit there, took it for granted. Not every shot is as easy as it looks, and you do have to give every shot a bit of time.
Oh.
Unlucky there to miss the ball,
Unlucky
give ball in
miss.
hand. We're not expecting Alex to miss here, but again, it's important that he takes his time with every shot.
Especially when you get a ball in hand, it's very important to get a comfortable position for yourself and also not leave too much distance between the balls.
So we're at 3-0 now. Alex is doing pretty well here. We'll see if he can keep going like this or if Brendan can start making a comeback. Another decent break from Alex. You can see that he's putting his whole body into the break. So he's really lunging forward, and that's where you get the power from the rest of the body, not just the shoulder and the swing. But again, really unlucky to come out dry. The ball in the bottom right corner, the pink 12, nearly crept in there. Brendan unlucky to park the cue ball right on top of that red 3 ball. Faced with a pretty difficult shot. I think he's got an insurance ball, the pink ball over the pocket there.
Oh.
But what happened there was, I think he played that cue ball with a lot of side spin, and what that actually does is it twists the straight, usually straight, yeah.
From the actual line that was traveling in. So let's see how Alex handles this with another ball in hand.
Yeah, I don't think this is a run-out layout. If you look at the table, the brown 7 ball and the green 6 ball, that Alex has got to pot really difficult positions there. So he's either got to free them out himself or wait until they're freed by Brendan. But he missed there on the ball in hand, and that was because he played it at such speed. If he played that softer, 100% would have gone in. Clever shot there by Brendan.
And I think he's got a shot on the 15. It is quite a thin cut. Great shot.
Another really thin cut here on the green striped ball. He's actually overcut that, which was surprising. But at least it stopped right in the middle of the pocket.
Yeah, usually with those shots, you undercut it and hit it too thick. Another great pot from Alex, and he's going for his problem ball.
That was a really good shot. Yeah, it was good to take on that ball in the first place. It was the correct shot selection to get rid of the tricky problem ball, but the execution was really good there. And
but I think he did get a bit unfortunate on the shot because he's accidentally bumped the 2 or the 6.
Going for a bit of a hopeful shot there. But yeah, there wasn't much to do there for him. If you have a look at his form is really good. You can see that his chin is right on the shaft of the cue, and that's exactly where you want to place the cue there. Really, you want to get really low down to the table height, and what that does is give you a really good line of sight, accurate vision in terms of aim, and it will improve your aim. So if you're starting out to play, it's probably more comfortable to stand up a bit higher off of the table and off of the cue. But yeah, just like Alex is doing, try to lower your body. So what we saw Alex do is just the 6 ball stays where it is.
Just don't touch it, and it's
So Alex has just accidentally slipped and touched another ball with his cue.
And he's actually made one of Brendan's balls.
And made the ball. Perhaps that was a bit of a strategic foul there to clear the pocket for his balls. But yeah, he gives ball in hand. Really great shot there.
So as Lockie was saying before, when you actually have your chin on the cue, you actually get a different line of sight from what you would see when you're above. And also it helps as a guide for your cue to stay straight when you're cueing. So it's quite important. It's definitely one thing that will improve your aim and just game in general.
Also, to all of those watching the video, whenever you are watching it, 2021 will be a decently big year for CueSoc. We're planning on rolling out a whole lot of new events and initiatives. There'll be video tutorials coming through and a couple of other new events. So keep an eye out. Our aim this year really is to open the society to a lot of different people, as opposed to just people who come to City Heroes often and are interested in pool. We're going to attempt to open it up and cater to a lot of different people. So definitely watch this space. But we'll always also make sure that we cater to our regulars as well.
That was a great end for Alex, and he scored himself another point. So
4-0
right now.
So this might end up being a pretty quick final. I think we've been going for 20-25 minutes now. Also, just to mention, if you're wondering where we are here, it's City Heroes Burwood. If you haven't been, it's a really, really nice place. There's, I think, 30-ish pool tables, 20 normal pool tables, and 8 or so Chinese A-ball tables.
So if you guys were wondering what the difference were, the pockets are a lot tighter.
Yeah.
And they're quite difficult to play on.
Yeah, really good for practice, but really frustrating for a lot of players. And there's 4 big snooker tables right around the corner at the end. There's an arcade here as well. There's a bowling alley. I think there's 3 bowling lanes there. And also a bar. So if you ever get a chance, come along, check it out. Really nice place. Lots of places to eat nearby as well in Burwood. It's just at floor 3 in Emerald Square. Again, a bit of an unexpected miss there from Alex, but he was using the rest, which is not easy to use. You're up off of the table and sacrifice that really accurate line of sight.
Just to add on top of that, City Heroes has opened their bowling lanes, and inside the bowling place, there's actually 2 pool tables as well, and also quite a few dart machines. So if you guys were interested, feel free to go check it out. I think it's quite a nice place.
City Heroes Town Hall is still open, of course, and we do run half of our events out of there as well. So if it's easier for you to get to Town Hall, just make sure to keep an eye out on the location on the events page when we post up the event, so that you can come along to the Town Hall events.
And if any of you were wondering, if any of you who have your Ps or even your full licenses, there is free parking at Burwood City Heroes for 4 hours on level B3. You just need to get your ticket validated at the front desk when you come, and it's all done. Oh, we've got Alex back on the table. And he's going for a long rail shot.
Yeah, I think Alex might be getting a bit frustrated here. Trying to pot the balls at that speed is a really hard thing to do in Burwood. Hopefully he starts to play the balls a bit slower, softer, just like Brendan did there. That was a really, really good speed to play the pot there. So Brendan's called a double here, or a bank. The red ball down in the bottom left corner. Really difficult to do a long rail bank. Kevin. So pretty bad layout here for stripes. The red and green stripe balls in the middle of the table there are tied up. A bank on the yellow 1 ball there, really well done. It's a good shot. A bit unlucky on the position. I think he's got a pretty tricky shot on the green 6 ball. It might just sneak into that middle pocket past the yellow striped ball, the 9 ball. Yeah, so he's potted that straight in. Even if he missed that and hit the 9 ball, the green ball hit the 9 ball, it would have gone in either way. So he had quite a big pocket there. So I think he's got a decent layout here. Oh, close on the 10 ball. It was definitely the ball he had to take. The others, impossible. But left Alex in a pretty tricky position here. I don't think the red 3 ball goes into any pocket. But he might take it either way to just try and make something happen with it, or to put it into a nicer place to come back to later. Clever shot there. Very creative. He was trying to hit the red 3 ball into the yellow 9 ball over the pocket and use it to bump the red 3 ball into the pocket.
It's a great attempt. Definitely one of the shots that Lockie would play against me. It's worked many times, which is kind of tragic.
No, I'm definitely an advocate for playing creatively. Uh, I'm a massive fan of watching, pros make those really, really creative, impressive shots in games. Uh, yeah, I think it's important to have fun. As serious as you can take it, I take pool pretty seriously, play in a couple of comps every now and then, but it's really important to just make sure you're having fun and don't take everything too seriously.
Sometimes it's just that one creative shot that could even like get you the game.
Yeah, exactly. I think often you think about a shot and you worry that you can't really do it or execute it. Just go for it.
Definitely have confidence,
yeah.
as that will boost your game a lot. So I think Alex is going to actually swerve the ball here. I'm not sure if he called that pocket.
I'm not sure if he needed to swerve it because I think he swerved it to the left as opposed to around to the right. I think he was just jacking up there, lifting the back of his cue up and might have accidentally swerved it. Not sure from our angle.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Brendan right now. His balls are still tied up in the middle of the table there.
Mm-hmm.
Alex has only got 3 balls, I think, for the win. So, bit questionable there. I think he could have hit that softer, but I think he'll still pot this.
So I think he's added some left English, and the ball has swerved out of line, which could have been one of the reasons why he hit that ball so thin. So he has left Alex in a quite difficult situation. The cue ball is on one side of the table, and then his 7 ball is on the other. So he's hit that ball quite full, and I think it actually has double kissed the ball, which made the cue ball stay on this side of the table. So another difficult shot for Brendan, as it's quite close to the rail, and he doesn't have a really nice shot. So I think he may have opted to play it safe. He has broken up his problem balls, but he has left Alex a shot. And I'm not sure if you can see this 8 ball. It's quite...
He can pot this 8 ball, but it's not easy. Really unfortunate that he played it at a really good speed, if anything. I think with a bit more experience, he probably would have saw that coming.
And potentially hit the ball at a lower spot.
Yeah, exactly. Hit the cue ball differently to avoid scratching. But still a decent pot. Lost a frame. He's still 4-1 up, so still a heavy favourite for the finals.
Let's see if this could be a turning point for Brendan, as sometimes just one frame could bring change to like a game. We'll see how well he can handle this. So this will be Brendan's first break, and we'll see how this goes. Ashley got a very nice spread, but it's quite unfortunate that the 3 ball and the 13 ball got tied up at the end with the 8, and he's actually broken dry. So Alex has actually tied up his 4 ball with Brendan's 10 ball. So that will be another problem ball. That was a great shot. Those long shots are quite hard to execute. The straight shots might seem very easy, but it actually requires you to be very stable and cue really straight. It's very important to practice your fundamentals, and those shots will be quite a lot simpler and easier for you. Ooh, it's an unfortunate miss from Brendan. So I think the frame has actually become quite complicated because both players have created a pretty big cluster in the center of the table. So we'll see how they can solve this.
That was a really good shot.
Yeah, he made a great shot. It's a little unfortunate with position, and so I think he's opted to play it safe here.
Also, I'll add, CueSoc membership is open to anyone who is enrolled in a tertiary education institution. So that's any university really in Australia. Of course, you'll have to be in New South Wales to come to our events. But any university at all, or TAFE or college, we accept members from any tertiary education institution. So definitely sign up. The membership is only $5 a year, and that $5 for UNSW ARC members, that is. It's $10 for non-UNSW ARC members. That membership it obviously lasts for the year, and it allows you to come to all of our events for free, other than the competitions which require an entrance fee to help cover the prizes, obviously. But yeah, all our social events are then free. Really great value membership there. And with the increase in the different varieties of events this year, probably worth, in my opinion, definitely worth investing in a CueSoc membership. So make sure to check out our Facebook page. There's a big sign up button on the page. So click on that and it will take you to our membership registration form.
We'll be hosting a lot of events regularly for this year, and sometimes even double events on the weekends. So for example, Saturday at Burwood and Sunday at City. So for example, just this week, we've got the first year's competition at Burwood here, and then tomorrow we'll have a social pool in the city. So if Burwood or either Burwood or City might be a bit difficult to get to because of where you're located, then hopefully we have one location that will be easier for you to get to.
And for those of you wondering, our social events, when I say social events, there's two main ones. There's your social pool. So you can sign up solo or with a partner. If you sign up solo, we'll find you a partner. And basically you'll play with that partner, and every now and then we'll rotate you to a different table to play with another 2 people. So it's actually a really good way to meet a lot of new people. I remember before I became subcom, I went to a lot of social events. That's where I actually first met Will at an HSC social pool, even though I had no idea who he was. Yeah, so it's a really great way to meet new people. And it's a really friendly, chill environment to actually learn how to play better pool. Or just, muck around if that's what you want to do.
And definitely don't be shy to ask a few of the committee or executive members to play with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel free to ask, because we're always there to happy to help.
Yeah, and on that, if you're looking for ways to improve, then if you come to our events, all of our committee members, a good proportion of them are pretty decent pool players, and they're happy to teach you how they got better. 1 8 ball left for the win. It's going for a long table cut, not an easy shot. He didn't play that with enough speed. Yeah, he needed to play that a bit harder. But yeah, back to the social events. The other kind of social event we have is pool party. You register in a team of around 4 to 6, and we'll pop you on a table to play for the whole day. We don't rotate you. So that's just a really great way to just spend a day with your mates. Catch up with old mates. I know in uni it's impossible to go and meet up with all your high school friends again.
So Alex has called a double.
Was not easy. I think Alex has just got to keep playing pretty carefully, putting his 8 ball in a good position to come back for it later. Potentially playing safety shots to make it really hard for Brendan.
Brendan's actually played quite well this frame. So we'll see if he can actually get another point.
I don't think this 8 ball passes, so he might have to play a double here. Yeah, it didn't pass. He should have played the double.
So he has fortunately landed the 8 ball just by the 13 ball, and it's actually covered the pocket to pot, so the bottom right corner.
Still got it. So the orange 13 can still go into the bottom left corner. That's a really difficult shot. He's left a decently easy shot in the 8 ball here. I don't expect Alex to miss this unless some sort of pressure gets to him. And there it goes. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll present the prizes, but we won't be recording that.
Big congratulations to both of our finalists, and congratulations to Alex for winning 5-1.
Thanks for tuning in to 2021 First Years Competition. Hope to see you at our other social events and other competitions. And again, really important to stay tuned with our page. Lots of new events, especially for those of you who are regulars. Take advantage for those new events and new initiatives that CueSoc is launching this year.
So once again, just like to thank every single competitor. Every single competitor who played today, and of course a special mention to City Heroes Bellwood for having us today.